All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha, Kodash. I want to give double honors to that apostle, and that is a great millstone who rule well, teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Hakim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. And what you see on the screen is the future of America, aka Babylon the Great. I want to start in Luke, the 12th chapter. I want to go down to the 49th verse. This is Luke 12 and 49. It says, I come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? The Lord is about to set America ablaze. And that fire, that lake of fire that John received a vision of, was speaking about America. I'll read that again. This is Luke 12 and 49. I come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? Okay. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is about to set America ablaze. Let's go to Zephaniah, the first chapter. And let's go down to the 14th verse. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near. It hasteth greatly. And that's what we're telling you, Israelites, that the day of the Lord is near. But not only that the day of the Lord is near, but it's going to be a very, very dark time, a gloomy time. You know, it's not going to be what they portray in these churches, that it's going to be a time of rejoicing and everyone holding hands and everyone with smiles on their face. And that, you know, a light-skinned man named Jesus Christ is going to appear out the sky and gather all the nations up into heaven. Okay? That's nothing but a cunningly devised fable. It says, the great day of the Lord is near, it is near, it hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. So it's going to be a day of weeping and gnashing of teeth, a great day of mourning, a great loss of your family members, a great day of death. It says, verse 15, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble. And this is not what they push in the so-called Christian and Baptist church. They don't push the days of troubles, the days of plagues, the days of catastrophe, the days of doom, okay? But the prophets do through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We are the prophets of doom, giving warning unto you Israelites to repent before it's too late. Let's go to second, that is the 7th chapter real quick, and let's go down to the 43rd verse. And it reads, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. What's that speaking about? Speaking about the day of great catastrophe, the day of destruction, the day of when these intercontinental ballistic missiles get fired off at various different parts of the earth, primarily America. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality for to come, where corruption is past. And that's concerning the kingdom, where we will receive immortality. We will put off this mortal flesh, these mortal bodies, these chains, and we will be made immortal. Let's go back to Zephaniah, the 1st chapter. Continuing on in the 15th verse, it says, the day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness. And what is that wasteness that's going to come to America? Well, first and foremost, it's going to come by the way of the waster. Now, first, let's look up this word, wasteness. And this is Strong's H7722. And it goes into ravage, devastation, ruin of land. And that's what's coming to America. A day of great devastation and ruin. Now let's read that in the NLT. This is Zephaniah 1:15. It will be a day when the Lord's anger is poured out, a day of trouble, distress, and anguish, a day of ruin and desolation. Everything that you see here in America is going to be completely obliterated, completely destroyed. Everything that's been built up is going to be brought down. It says a day of ruin and desolation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and blackness. Now let's go into how that wasteness is going to come about. Let's go to Isaiah 54. Let's go down to verse 16. It says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And that smith is talking about the scientists. These men that the Lord has put in their mind these various different knowledges, technology, science. Okay, the knowledge how to put atoms together and split them, so to speak, to make these nuclear warheads. All right. It says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And see, Esau's scientists think that they have come up with this technology and this knowledge on their own. It's not of them. This is of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and these aren't their missiles. These aren't their warheads. These are the Lord's missiles. All right? These are the weapons of the Lord's indignation. These ain't the weapons of Esau. It says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So that's what's going to bring this place called America to wasteness, to desolation. All right? Let's go back to Zephaniah, the first chapter. And continue on in verse 15. It says, The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. All right? It says, verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. So the Lord is angry with the inhabitants of the land. The Lord is angry with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, that have followed the ways of these other nations, that continue to worship false gods. It says, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. You know, so the Lord is going to scatter the blood of the people across the land. Let's go down to continue on and read to verse 18 as well. It says, Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. And see, the majority of our people, that's where they put their time, their energy, their stock, their focus in, is their bank account, their income. You know, the tangible things that they have gathered. And they think that they're going to be able to hide behind their checkbook, hide behind their wallet, their money, you know, their cars, their houses. It says, Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole, and you know, it's also, you know, concerning, you know, these wicked elites as well, man. because with the wealth that they have, they're going to ultimately try to use that to be safe from not only the great destruction that's going to take place, but the Lord. Certain of these elites around the earth are going to hide and ride out the nuclear destruction in their bunkers. They're going to hide under the ocean, in the clefts of the rocks, very well maybe in space as well. But they're not going to escape. They're not going to escape their judgment. Okay? So ultimately, they're not going to be delivered. They're not going to be safe from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It says, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So America is going to be destroyed very, very quickly. 60 minutes. All right, it's only going to take an hour to bring this so-called great land to naught. And that's going to come by these intercontinental ballistic missiles that these other nations boast about, of their speed, their precision. These missiles from China and Russia can reach the United States in under 25 minutes. Okay? So when they get fired off, and in those 30 minutes or less they reach America, when those warheads detonate, it's only going to take 20 minutes or less, 30 minutes or less to destroy this place, man. To turn this place into a lake of fire. And that's what, the vision that John received. He was looking over Babylon the Great. He was looking over America. He was looking at that great destruction that took place by the missiles, man, those warheads. And it looked like a lake of fire, as you see on your screen. Let's go to Revelation, the 20th chapter, and the 14th verse. It says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So that second death is that lake of fire. It's not talking about no place called hell where you're tormented forever and ever. You got even some of these Israelite camps that are now teaching in the hell doctrine. All right? It says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. It says, verse 15, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And we hope and pray that we're written in that book of life and we can be saved from the great destruction that's going to take place. We want to be those men that witness what you see on your screen, that witness the destruction of Babylon the Great, that witness that lake of fire from the windows of the chariots, man. Okay? We want to be those that are able to hide themselves but for a little moment until that indignation be overpassed. Okay? But the rest of you Israelites, y'all are going to partake in this great fire, this great destruction, this great day of wasteness. Let's read verse 15 again and we can close out. This is Revelation 20 and 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to that apostle, now there's a great millstone, who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessing to you, sincere Akim, that are pushing this truth all over the four corners of the earth, week in and week out, in all truth and sincerity. To the next time, Shalom.